most teachers usually have either from 2 to 4 classes. In Brunei, some teachers have 3 to 4 classes. For example, when I was teaching in secondary school, I had a year with 4 classes. I had a year with 3 classes, and when I was teaching in sixth form college. States, Mountain Time, Pacific Time, and also in European areas as well. So, copy that class for your other 2 classes. Now, in the event that you have classes class for teaching English. Wait. An online protection program in place, so you have to make sure that you are aware of those. So let's just say that we are choosing, because we're teaching English grade 7, so it's 7th grade, or you can use range, so that's between 7th to, but I'm going to choose 7th grade for now, and I'll be teaching language arts, English. Let's just choose ESL because English is a second language. Now the colors are just colors to code the classes or the subjects that you're teaching. So I'm just going to choose randomly, perhaps green. That'll be there. So my class is now going to be created. So these things, we just skip this because I'm going to go through these with you on my own without using these wizards. So now we have an English grade 7 class. Now I've got my name in there, Mr. Morali. And my class code similar to what Google Classroom is using in terms of using codes so that you can assign your students. But before we bring our students in here, the first thing that you need to do, and the second thing that you need to do after you create your class on Edmodo is to have in place next to you, to your side, your syllabus. For example, if you're teaching English grade 7, it will be very, very useful to have the English grade 7 syllabus right next to you, because you want, for a learning management system to work, you want to present these knowledge content bit by bit, not simultaneously. So what can be done is that you schedule your posts. In Edmodo and in Google Classroom, you are able to choose when that particular content is published into your platform. Or whatever subject that you're teaching, you've got this syllabus next to you, to your side. All you need to do is to structure them, to transfer all this organization into your Edmodo system or your Google Classroom system, and then provide each of these particular elements with scheduled postings. So meaning they are posted according to the chronology that you set them to be. Now also in your post, you'll be able to attach files and images. The same thing, these are the things that I'll be going through later. I'll just post that up. Now as you can see, another big strength of Edmodo, this is something that is a bit of a struggle with Canvas, but Canvas can do this as well, is that you can manage your content using your Office 365 system. So you can go into, this is actually integrated, Edmodo is integrated with your Office 365. Now, when you're creating a classroom, you're also able to manage folders. You can create folders. Now, this is before, you need to create this before the students come in. You can perform these activities and tasks during when the students are already in. But it is better, it is wiser to actually conduct these before the students come into your LMS systems. So you can create additional folders in here just to organize your content. For example, you have now members. So there are two types of members in Edmodo. There are two types of members usually in Canvas and in Google Classroom. You can be more, but in Edmodo you've got two groups: your students and your teachers. If you're planning to teach the subject with other teachers, then you're able to actually invite them into this particular class, and then you can conduct collaborative learning, collaborative teaching, for example. But I think what is the necessity for every single classroom of yours in Edmodo is to invite your students. So there is a very nifty way to invite students. I'll show you right now. So when you invite students, you can invite them by email, you see. And then if you have a spreadsheet of your students already in place, you can use that as your guidance to include your students in there. Now, when you have these students inside these rows, maybe alphabetical order if you prefer. That's usually the common practice in schools. You are also creating a gradebook. Now the gradebook is where the grades of the students throughout that course or the subject or the syllabus will be reported, will be visible to you and perhaps to the students if you give them the privilege to do so. Now this is not a nifty way to invite your students. You can either share the class code, so that's the class code of this particular class. You can invite them by email. You type the email that the student gives you. Or, this is what I like best with Edmodo, is that you can download a handout. And this handout, this is an example of the handout that comes with Edmodo. What it does is it provides you, the students and the parents, with the code of the class. It's taking a while, but it's going to do that because it's creating a PDF file. You see, this PDF file is a bit heavy, but it is something that you can print out or you can send massively through WhatsApp or to another media platform that are able to download the Edmodo app through these different different markets. For example, app for iOS devices, Google Play for Androids and things that run on Android, Harmony, Microsoft, not really sure if it still exists, but I believe so because it's still there. Alright, let's go back to Edmodo. I'll try my best not to be too fast with this one, but I'm very well aware that some of you are about to go to work somewhere Monday because it's already time. Some of you are now well into your Sunday. Alright, let's cancel that. So what you have there is you're able to invite your students in there. Now, but again, like I said, inviting students, bringing them in would be one of the last things that you want to do. It will be one of the last things that you want to do. What you want to do is you prepare the platform, you prepare the environment for the students. It's ready, it's there for them to explore. And one of the things that make learning management systems very powerful is the idea of providing them with assignments and quizzes. That can be done in Edmodo. So you're able to create assignments. For example, let's say, introduce yourself. let's say they are new students to the system. Of course, it is now well in the fourth month of the year. Let's just put that in as if that this is something that you want to do next year. So please introduce yourself here to your friends. Alright, just simple, something off the cuff. You can add attachments to this particular assignment. You can add links to this particular assignment, and you can add something from your library, existing library. Now, assignment details usually tend to have what do you call this? There's an option to either include it in your gradebook or not. But one thing that is also quite nifty, it's quite creative as well, and it's also quite useful, is, let's see if I go back to my class. All right. Is that you're able to create quizzes. Before going to quizzes, you can copy assignments from your other classes or from classes, Edmodo classes that you find online. But this is something that's quite powerful, because when you create quizzes, it comes with something called an auto grader. An auto grader is a system that's built into the learning management system to kind of score or mark your students. Using a computer algorithm. But nowadays you've got new technologies that allows you to auto grade certain kinds of assignments and exercises. So let's just So let's give it a time limit, 60 minutes. The clock ticks. You can lock it after the due date. For example, if someone who's late into the assignment, then they won't be able to be part of, they won't be able to contribute to the assignment. They won't be able to sit for the assignment. Randomized questions, usually it's about moving around the structure, the organization of the questions. For example, different students will have different organization of the questions when they see them on screen. Also, if you have a question bank, which is called a question bank, which is a bank of questions,